The threat to impeach President Ruto by the ODM. So President Ruto take a twist because remember, this was a cause of that they agreed to help Ruto impeach his deputy Rigathi Gachagua, and in return, then President will rally support for AUC seat for Raila Amolo Odinga, which never seemed to happen. And that threat really touched William Ruto. That is why we just saw the other day him and Raila Amolo Odinga traveling to Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, to try and rally support for Raila Amolo Odinga. But with me, I have a screenshot here from Twitter, and it says that Ruto organized a breakfast meeting in Addis Ababa for AU institution reforms as a way of campaign for Jacom, that is Raila Amolo Odinga. Unfortunately, it's only the Kenyan delegates and the African ambassador to AU who attended. Ethiopia Prime Minister snubbed the event despite being invited as the GOH. Eloi and exercise in futility for Baba. Africa deserves better, and it's clear that better days for Baba are done and dusted. So, what does that mean? If they keep people who were invited to at least feel like they are rallying support behind Raila Amolo Odinga for the African Union Commission chairperson seat, absolutely abscondent that meeting. What does it mean? That the support is for Mahmoud Yusuf from Djibouti. Now, that is not all. A tweet by Mo, that is at Money Academy Kenya, I'll paraphrase, say that Ruto was asking for China's support for Kenya to join BRICS and for the election of Raila Odinga AUC chairperson. Now, I want to take you back and get to know that Djibouti's relationship with China is so intact and very much stronger. As you know, their president Omar is not subject to their limits, and recently they signed a strategic partnership with China. So in between, I'm getting confused what William Samoei Ruto really wants, because you cannot be a member of the NATO and also you become a member of the BRICS. Remember, these are people with very different principles, different working mechanisms. One is about telling you what to do, where, when, why, and they're giving you limit. If you don't do this, then we shall not give you loans. You understand? I'm talking about the NATO. The NATO also, they take charge, they take control, they demand, they give you conditions. But you see, for BRICS, it's like, hey, for us, this is what we are doing, but we are not limiting you. And that is why you see that the Djibouti relationship with China is not about them being subject to their limits. You understand? So, I really don't know what Ruto wants to achieve, because the other day when he just went to the US, he was actually welcomed as a NATO ally. And you all understand what that basically means. So, are we seeing chicken coming home to roast? Because all the indicators really show that Raila Amolo Odinga might not just get the support that he needs to win the AUC seat. We could see so much happening in Kenya, even in terms of economy. Remember just the other day when Ndindi Nyoro was being asked to, explain the status of the economy of our nation. And he did say clearly that if actually our economy was doing well, it's not about him to be into cameras and try and convince the committee that our economy is doing great. The Kenyans themselves should be able to say that the economy is doing great. What is your thought on this? Do you think that Ruto's support or trying to rally support for Raila Odinga for the AUC chairmanship is going to work any magic? Give me your comment in the comment section below. If you're watching from our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe and press the notification button so anytime that we are live or we upload content of this nature, you'll be the very first person to be notified. If you're watching from our Facebook page, kindly follow our Facebook page for regular updates. Kenya, we're really struggling with a monster that we actually don't know how it might end for us. Like the Adani issue, and now the Adani taking over Ketraco, and controlling power. Adani shuts down 50% of electricity supply in Bangladesh until they pay their balance. Oh my. Adani supplies 10% of Bangladesh total power. And now Bangladesh is not happy either because they say Adani is charging 27% higher than the other Indian private producers. Is it the same case that we might just see this country getting into? So I know I've said so many things, but I just try to connect them and tell you how President Ruto is not somebody who is so substantiative when it comes to developments. He is someone who is keeps on shifting his allegiance depending on who benefits him at what, when, at a specific point. So for him, it's not about being competency based. So for William Ruto, during his campaigns, he might have issued or given us a picture of somebody who is competency based. Unfortunately, that's not him. He only works with you when it is relevant to work with you. Yeah. So he chose Raila Odinga when it was convenient for him to have Raila Odinga. He had Rigathi Gachagua when it was convenient for him to have Rigathi Gachagua. Within 2 years, Ruto has borrowed approximately 4 trillion. 4 trillion. So we project that in another 2 years, that will be 8 trillion. And one last year for this presidential term, it will be close to 9 or 10 trillion. Does it even ring a bell to you? Now, what mechanisms are there even to pay? Are we in bondage for lifetime to be paying loans? The problem we have is not even insufficiency of laws. The problem we have is implementation. We have so many resources that could be used to the advantage of boosting the economy. Unfortunately, even the Kenyans are not running away from paying taxes. All they want is to have them pay taxes and let them see what those taxes they pay are doing. Structural developments, education sector needs to improve. Let the health sector improve, the agricultural sector, let it improve, the blue economy. We need to see everything working in progress. I still put the big question. Do you still think that Raila Amolo Odinga is the best suited candidate for the AUC chairperson? And from whatever is happening, do you feel like still he got the grip? And remember, the monster that he will become should he lose. Will Ruto be able to contain that? Ahmed Khalif is my name for the Unscripted Talks here in DURB Radio. If you're watching from our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe and press the notification button so anytime that we are live, you'll be the very first person to be notified. If you're watching from our Facebook page, kindly follow our Facebook page for regular updates. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuhu.
Kwa timba kali za Afrika, DURB Radio ndio mpango mzima.